Today, I'm bringing you someone special, someone who I've always wanted to have a chat with, a young man who's experienced, who've trained hundreds and hundreds of other young people. To be honest, I'm not going to say much. I just want you guys to hear it from himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Jora Morales.
Thank you, Ref. Appreciate you having me on your podcast, man.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure. So yeah, let's jump right into it. There's no waiting, there's nothing. Who is Jora Morales?
Jordan Morales, that's a good question. I'm Jordan. I'm 31 years old. I've been doing door to door sales for the last 11 years. And within my door to door sales career, I've had a lot of really cool experiences from training young people to knocking doors myself to managing managers. And then with a lot of the success I've had in door to door, I've been able to open up recently new businesses as well. Like I run a agency where we do software and we sell software to restaurants right now. And I also run a soju soda company. I just launched that pretty recently as well with a business partner.
Right, right, right. I mean, you said you're 31 years
Yeah.
and you've already achieved all of this. How did you do that?
I think a mix of timing, a mix of luck, and then the biggest thing is a lot of hard work. I think I put myself in situations that a lot of people wouldn't do. I'm from Montreal, Quebec originally, and I moved out to knock doors in Calgary when I was 20 years old. And everyone told me not to do it, but I did it anyways. And it was one of those things where you just kind of, put everything on the table. A one way ticket. If I don't succeed, I'm not really eating. I brought all my friends with me as well, and they were expecting me to do well, right? Just because I invited them to come out. So it gave me, I had an objective to just succeed, right? That was just my biggest thing. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So you say you were born and raised in Montreal, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That means you speak French.
I had a feeling you're going to ask me. My French is terrible, but yes, it's been a
Right,
while.
right, right. But I know born and raised in Montreal, you still kind of have your background in the Philippines, right?
Yes, my parents are from the Philippines.
Your parents are from the Philippines. And have you ever visited the Philippines?
Yeah. So I went when I was 4 years old. I went in 2015 or 2016, and then I went again 2 years ago.
Right, right. And what are some differences between the Philippines and Canada?
I think a lot of things. Obviously, over there, there's a there's a lot of poverty over there. Like number one, so it's like a huge culture shock when you get out there.
Right,
You know, it's number like everyone's super friendly. That's one thing. Everyone's super friendly. It's really hot out there, and then honestly, nature wise, it's just beautiful, absolutely stunning. Yeah.
right. Yeah, I get most of my Filipino friends actually say the same thing. They're like, yeah, it's there is poverty, but there is also nature. There is also a lot to enjoy over there.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think the Philippines is definitely in my bucket
Yeah.
list. I need to visit.
You got to go there, man. Yeah.
But what are some cool places you advise me to, like, maybe if I want to visit, I should probably go to?
Um, I've been to a few places. Like I wouldn't say like a lot of places. I'd say my favorite ones. Like I'm a big food guy. Like I love eating. Japan is amazing. Like beautiful place. The food's delicious. It's super clean there. I think one of my other favorite places that I've been to is actually South Africa. Really nice out there.
Oh, you've been to South Africa?
Yeah. I went there. I used to do door to door for Vivint,
Mhm.
and they did a charity trip out there. And I went out there. It was such an amazing experience. Yeah,
Right, right,
beautiful
right.
place.
Even me, I haven't been to South Africa,
Mhm.
but you being there, it tells me I should. I have a long way to go. I have a lot of countries to visit,
Mhm.
but it'll come with time.
It will, man. Yeah.
So yeah, Jordan Morales, you said you right now. I know you own like two companies on the side,
Yeah.
as well as you're managing like lots of teams right now.
Yeah.
So did you graduate college? Did you finish college?
Yeah. So in Quebec, you have high school. After high school, you have CEGEP, and then after CEGEP, you have university. So I graduated from CEGEP, went to university, did one semester, failed a couple classes, and then I dropped out. And then I went and chose to do summer knocking doors. And I was like, after knocking, I'm going to go back to school. But I just did so well that I didn't end up really going back to school.
You were like,
Yeah.
probably not worth it.
Yeah.
Right,
Exactly.
right, right. So, but do you support like the modern education system?
Yes and no. There's a lot of schooling that people go to for like business management, and no hate to anyone that does that. But I think, if you're doing that, you're not really going to get into like what's your objective when you go into business management to start a business, right? And in my opinion, there's a lot of professors out there that haven't run a business teaching people how to run a business, right?
Right.
So I don't think it's bad. I think you're still going to learn a lot, but if you supplement it with something that actually, gives you, you know, experience, then
Yeah.
I think 100% education is very, very important, right? But that's what my thoughts on it. Yeah.
No, that's deep because I think we need to be more practical. You can't teach someone how to make $1 million if you've never made $1 million, right? That is what you just said.
Yeah, exactly.
People trying to teach people how to build up businesses, meanwhile they haven't even built anything yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
like by all means, just because I have businesses, right, doesn't mean I know exactly how to run a business either, right? So I'm sure there's a lot of things from school that I'd probably benefit from as well.
Right.
I just think they have to go hand in hand with each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Let's talk about sales.
Yeah.
I know you're the top down when it comes to sales, and I would like to ask you this: what is sales? What is sales to you?
Mhm.
Or let me reframe this: what is door-to-door sales to you?
Yeah. First off, I wouldn't say I'm the top dog. There's a lot of great people out there.
Right.
Um, sales to me, um, sales to me is just a way of communicating with people and giving them a way to. It's a transfer of ideas, a transfer of energy, right? Selling's not just giving a product or a service to a customer. Sales is everything. It's like if I want you to go out to dinner with me tonight, right? And you're busy, I got to sell you on why dinner with me is more important than what you have to do, right? And so selling is communication. It's everything.
So would you say sales is like a lifestyle?
Sales, I wouldn't say it's a lifestyle. I'd say sales is a language, right? And the way that I would compare it to any other language is, if you want to learn, let's say, obviously you already speak Spanish, you speak French, right?
Right.
What's a language you'd want to learn that you don't know?
Chinese.
Chinese. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you want to learn Chinese, for example, and I gave you two options. You go to school and you learn Chinese with a 4-year degree. That's option one. Option two is you go to China for 2 years and live there for 2 years. Which one would you choose?
Go to China,
Go to
of
China.
course. Yeah,
And why is that?
because that gives you more room to practice the language, to speak
Exactly.
the language.
It's called full immersion, right? And so you're going to put yourself in an environment where you're going to, you know, you're going to hear Chinese every day. You're going to maybe date some Chinese women, eat Chinese food, right?
Right.
Drink Chinese drinks, right? Watch Chinese movies. You're basically fully immersed, and that's what's going to get you to learn a lot. And that's what gets people to learn languages, right? I took French for years in school, and it wasn't until I had a French girlfriend that's when I actually learned how to speak French, right? And so the reason why I compare that to sales is a language, right? Are you going to go to school for 4 years to learn sales? Or are you going to go put yourself in a program, like in a door to door program, where you're going to be immersed in an actual sales environment? You're going to breathe sales. You're going to drink sales. You're going to see sales. You're going to be talking with people all around you. All they're talking about is
It's
sales. You're going to
sales.
get
Yeah.
training, right? And I don't believe sales is a lifestyle. I believe sales is a language, and it's a language that we can use in our everyday life, not just in our professional life.
Yeah. Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. So sales is not a lifestyle; it's a language.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, I kind of started looking at sales as my day-to-day life. Like everything I did was kind of like getting back to sales. You know what I mean? The way I communicate with people, the way I talk to people, the way I express myself, even if I'm not selling to like on the doors, I kind of find myself going back to like every single thing I learned in sales, right? That is why I have this misconception of like, I'm like, okay, I think this is a lifestyle now because this is my life now. whatever I say, I know, okay, maybe I'm in this part of the process.
Not to interrupt, like it could be a lifestyle. Like it doesn't mean it's not a lifestyle. I just don't like the connotation of it being a lifestyle
Yeah.
because a lot of people associate sales with like, you think of Wolf of Wall Street, right? Um, Jordan Belfort, he goes crazy in that
Yeah.
movie, and I think that you could still be an amazing salesperson without having that sales lifestyle. And so that's why I personally feel like it's more of a language than a lifestyle, but it could be a lifestyle, like you're saying.
Right. So does that mean that you kind of like separate yourself when you're like on a sales mood versus Jordan Jordan doing his day-to-day life? I don't know.
Well, yes and no. And what I mean by yes and no is definitely in the way I communicate. I'm always using sales in my communication, whether I like it or I not, because it's built into my habits now,
Right.
right? In my subconscious. But no, in the sense that who is really Jordan Morales? I look at myself 10, 11, I guess 12 years ago, right? And I'm naturally introverted. I don't like being around people at all, right? Naturally. But I find myself going to work, enjoying my job, talking to people all day, right? We just had a training earlier
Right.
in front of 40 plus people, and by the end of it everyone's running up towards me to ask me questions and I'm enjoying it. But I'm naturally an introvert. And so um, I wouldn't say that sales changes who I am, but it's definitely changing the way I speak.
Right, Jordan. So talking about tolerance, you said you had to tolerate a lot during your time at the door to doors. How
Yeah.
much did you have to actually tolerate?
I think it's a very general question just because, based on the position I was in my career, in door to door sales, for those that don't know, you start off as a sales rep, you become an assistant manager, and then you become a manager, then you become a regional, then eventually a VP. Every company is different, obviously, but in every position you're in, you tolerate different things. So a new rep coming into the industry, like, um, you tolerate all the rejection, right? You come in as a rookie, you're getting door slams, door after door after door, and you're tolerating all that rejection just so that you could get better at sales,
Right.
right? And then you become a manager and you start recruiting sales reps and they say no because they don't want to knock doors, and you're tolerating that rejection, right? And then as a manager, you start training reps and it's not working. And you got to tolerate reps, that are dealing with problems, and struggling on the doors, right?
Right.
And then you become a regional and you deal with managers that are dealing with problems because their reps, you know, are not hitting the production that you want them to hit. So they complain to you, they take their frustrations out on you. You got to tolerate that as well,
Right.
right? And then obviously being a company that sells products for other companies, you tolerate the exterior things as well. So like, for example, we work for Knock and we sell TELUS products. And so if TELUS decides to just increase our prices one day, we got to tolerate the fact that they want to increase their prices one day,
Yes.
right? So a lot of tolerating. So
Right,
yeah.
right. I'm pretty sure you've hired hundreds and hundreds of reps, right? So I want to ask you this: what do you look for in a rep for you to actually be able to hire them? What do you tell them? What should be the expectation?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think some of the things that I look for when I'm hiring someone, and it's not even just in door to door sales, and I've implemented these things into my other businesses.
Right,
The first one is, are they coachable, right? Are they gonna be able to take criticism when you try and teach them, right? Are they able to also deal with confrontation and at the same time give confrontation? If they're not happy with something that's going on, are they the type of person that'll bring it up and talk to me about it, right? As a business owner, I want to work with people that'll cause friction in my business with me so that it helps my business get better,
right,
right? Um, I want to make sure that they work hard, but it's hard. How do you calculate that? And I think one of the good ways to calculate something like that is based off of their past experience. Like, what have you done in the past, right? What is one thing that you've accomplished in your life, where you feel you worked very, very hard for? Asking a question like that to see what was their process and how they worked hard to accomplish what they accomplished. So yeah, hard work, coachable, those two things, and honest. That's a hard one too,
So
right?
hard work, honesty, and coachable.
Yeah,
Those are good ones.
yeah.
So there's a question for you. let's say you had to go back and it's your first year getting into sales. What is one thing you probably do differently now that you have all this experience?
You know, it's like that saying, no regrets. Like I don't think I would change anything. I think the only thing, yeah, I wouldn't change anything because all this experience I had my first year is what helped me become where I'm at, or helped me get to where I'm at today. By all means, I don't mean like I'm the most successful person in the world, but you know, I actually appreciate all the good and bad experiences from my first summer. Do I wish I worked harder? Honestly, yeah, but I think I worked harder the next year because the first year I didn't work as hard
Yeah.
and it pushed me to work harder anyways. So the result became the same result.
Right. Right. So everything you believe everything was just meant to be what it is.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. I think that is a big belief everyone should have. Like everything is working out for your good. As long as you put in the work, as long as you're doing
Yes.
what you're required to do. That is one thing. Yeah. That's one thing I also keep to myself. Honestly, I'm like, okay, I make sure I don't live with regret. I make sure everything I do, it's kind of like it doesn't fire back at me. Like I don't want to I don't want to live a day where at night I'll be like, I should have done this, I should have done that. Yeah. So that is a really good one. Also, going back, I remember the first training I actually sat down where you came and then we had the first training I had with you, like the first time I listened to you, that was in Vancouver. I don't know if you remember.
Mm.
So you talked about a story where you went to Calgary, you and your girlfriend at
Yeah.
that time, your
Yeah.
fiance right now,
Yeah.
and you did mention that she saw a line, yet she still wanted the pizza because it had pickles on it, right? And you what or what you saw was the line.
Mm.
So you weren't thinking about the pizza, you were only thinking about the hassle that was the line.
Mm.
So you told us that story. To be honest, I didn't really understand. I didn't really get anything from it. I went back home, and then during the summer in Kelowna, I was going through your page, and because you posted that video that time,
Yeah.
and I was rewatching the video, and I watched it to the end where you were like, "This job is just like you and your girlfriend." Talking about the pizza with the pickles. So the
Yeah.
first people are the people that only see the line and don't really get to see the pizza with the pickles. And the second group of people are the people that actually know that yes, we have to be in the line, but at the end of the day, we're getting the pizza with the pickles.
Yeah.
And I really understood that, man. So I don't know if you can talk a little bit about the story
Yeah, of course.
for the people out there,
Yeah.
just for them to actually hear what I mean.
Yeah. So before I even get into that, like I'm a big reader. I love books. I love audiobooks. I love watching, I wouldn't say motivational speakers, but successful people speak. And there's this guy named Simon Sinek, and he actually says a similar story, but in his own way. So I don't want to make it seem like it's completely mine.
Right.
It's, the message is the same, but in the story that I've had with my girlfriend. So for those that don't know, my girlfriend and I, like, if you can see that, like, we love Ferris wheels. It's just a thing that we do. We've seen over 30 different Ferris wheels in different cities. And we love Calgary Stampede because at Calgary Stampede, there's literally 3 different Ferris wheels in Calgary Stampede, like on the
Right.
grounds there. So we made it an effort to go. And she loves pickles. Like, she really loves pickles. And so we went to Stampede, and there was this massive, pizza with pickles food truck. And she's just looking at me, and she's like, we got to go there. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? And she's like, yeah, I love pizza with pickles. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, do you see that line though? And she looks at me and says, but it's pizza with pickles. And I'm like, but look at the line. And she's like, it's pizza with pickles. We're going. Right. And so the reason why I think that's very relevant to our job in door-to-door sales is, when people are knocking doors, there's 2 types of people. Okay. And this is what separates the successful people from the people that are not successful. The people that are not successful, they look at the line. The people that are successful, they look at the pizza with the pickles. So in other words, the people that are not successful, they look at the rejection. They look at the rain outside. They look at the, distractions. They look at the fact that they haven't got a sale in a while, right? And they look at the fear, right?
Right.
The people that are successful, they see the sale. behind every single door, right? And so I like that, you know, analogy. It's like, who are you? Are you the person that sees the pizza with the pickles, or are you the person that sees the wine? Are you the person that sees the sale behind every single door, or are you the person that sees the door? You know?
Right, right. And that is how I got to understand that when I rewatched the video, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is actually what he was talking about. Because, like I said, the very first day, I just heard the story and I was like, okay, fine. But then you go home and then, or you get yourself into sales door to door, and then you start knocking doors. You actually get to understand what the video is about.
Yeah.
Yes, it is about pizza with pickles, but it's deeper than that, right?
If you think about it, like you've been knocking for 2 years now, right?
Almost, yeah.
Almost 2 years. You know when you're about to get a sale. It's like a thing. It's like when you're right before that door knock, and you're like, this is a deal.
Yeah.
And it's weird. You don't know it, but you kind of subconsciously know it.
Yes.
And then you walk away with that sale. And that's the idea behind it, right? You can't approach a door thinking that it's not a sale. Otherwise, it's 100% not going to be a sale.
Right.
Right. So you treat every single door as if it's gold. Right.
Right. Right. Yeah, we are actually learning a lot today. Yeah. So okay, so here, I know obviously you're engaged now, and congrats, man. First of all, so I would like to know: do you think having the right partner doing this job would actually help you get faster to your goals?
100,000,000%, right? And I think one of the big things that I really appreciate about the relationship I have with my fiance is that she actually used to knock doors. So she did a summer. She did like a fall season, and then she did a summer, and she was pretty good at it, right? She would drop 4 sales in a day for security.
Wow.
And the reason why I appreciate that, a couple things. Number one, I think sales, it's like when, someone speaks French, it's like attractive, right? I think if sales is a language, if someone speaks salesy, it's attractive to me.
It
right?
is.
And the reason why I bring that up, well, that's one thing. Okay. The second thing is because she's doing the thing, or she has done the thing that I do on a daily basis, she understands me better. Right. I've had other relationships where they didn't knock doors. And so like they didn't understand my job.
Yeah.
Right. Those days where you just have the worst day ever and everything piles on top of it, plus you get 0 sales. It's like she gets that. So she knows when I'm dealing with it, she knows how to handle it because she's gone through it. And so it's something I appreciate a lot.
Right, yeah. Right. Yeah, because she's been through it. So she definitely I get your point.
Yeah. And the traveling and everything too, right? We're gone so often.
Right.
If it wasn't for her, other relationships, if I was traveling, visiting teams for weeks at a time, other relationships, they maybe wouldn't be happy with that.
Yes.
Right? And she's happy that I'm doing what I love. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. So that's a good advice. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Okay. So when looking back when you were knocking, or even right now, so what is one thing that you would say whenever you feel down? It is one thing that when you think of, it just makes you keep going. I guess it's your why, but is there a specific thing that helps you to get back on your feet whenever you're down?
Mm-hmm. It depends if you ask me at what stage of life I am in, right? If you ask me as a rookie, what is the thing that motivated you to keep knocking when things are tough? Is because my whys are big, right? I wanted to, be able to make a lot more money and prove everyone at home wrong that knocking doors is actually a good career. Because a lot of people at home, they said, and everyone deals with this in our industry, that door to door is that a real job? And so I wanted to prove a lot of people wrong, right? And then you ask me now, it's like when I'm out in the field, because I'll knock here and there. Am I knocking because I have a big why? I'm knocking because everyone's expecting me to sell, sell, right? They're like, oh shoot, Jordan's the VP of sales. He's out in an area. If he doesn't sell, who is he, right? So, different reasons depending on different stages. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. So let's shift a little bit. I know a lot of people, I would say 99% of the people I know actually are afraid of this word, right? But for someone as experienced as you are, I would like to know what you think about it. So what do you define as rejection? What is rejection to you?
Rejection in the context of selling, or just
generally?
General?
Yeah.
Rejection is being told no.
Right.
Yeah.
So in a concept of selling, is it any different?
I think it's the same thing, right? It's like being told no, being like, yeah, being told no. I think that's the main thing with rejection.
Right.
Someone not wanting your services.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why I'm bringing this up is because a lot of people I know are actually afraid of rejection. But in my 2 years of knocking doors, I found out the more rejection you can deal with, the better you get at the job, and the more sales you actually back for yourself. So would you say rejection is actually a bad thing or a good thing?
It's an amazing thing, right? And that's what shapes the people in our industry. That's why I love door to door. If you think about it, right? When I came into the job, I was anxious to talk to people. I was very shy, right? And you got to ask yourself the question: what is it that makes most people shy? Is they're scared of failure or they're scared of rejection,
Right.
right? I am scared to talk to a customer because I'm scared they're going to tell me no. And so it makes me shaky, which means I'm indirectly not confident,
Right.
right? And so the idea behind it is if you could knock 100 doors a day, maybe talk to 50 people a day, and 50 people tell you no every single day, and you do that every day, 6 days a week, that's 300 people telling you no every week. And then you do that for 4 months, right? I'm not going to calculate it, but that's a lot of no's.
Yeah.
So imagine you go out, you hear no 50 times in a day, you come back home, right? And then you ask a girl out on a date, right? And she says no to you. Is that going to phase you at that point?
Of course
Not at all.
not.
It's like, dude, I got rejected 50 times already. Like this, I don't care.
I'm not
right?
even shaky.
Exactly. And that's what I think confidence is, right?
Yeah.
It's like you dealt with so much rejection to the point that you don't feel it anymore, so that you're not shaky. And now you could actually ask the question without fearing, again, rejection. Yeah,
Right. So rejection, it is a good thing.
it's a good thing.
Yeah. Just for people out there, to be honest, I found out 99% of the people I know, most of the people I knew before sales were just normal people who didn't really know what rejection was, right? And I was there too. I never liked rejection. And that's why when I started this, I think that was the worst part of me having to hear no every single day make me feel like, is it me? What is wrong with me? Like, why are people saying no to me so much? Like, but then you get to understand that that is the concept of it. And even when you take it from sales to like real life, it's the same thing. You have to get rejected for you to maybe realize you needed to do something, you needed to do that thing better, or you needed to maybe take another road or something. So yeah, it's something I wanted to hear from you because rejection is it's a big one,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So now let's talk about our surroundings, right? Do you believe that what we surround ourselves with influences or kind of like takes a little bit of influence in our lives?
Yes, 100%. And I think it goes back to, let's look at that full immersion thing I was talking about earlier,
Right.
right? Um, the reason why our sales program works in door to door is because people are getting fully immersed in a program where they're being taught how to sell every day. They're role playing with their, partners every day, their roommates, right? It's like you can't go to sleep without thinking about sales. I've had dreams where I'm on the doors. And I know you've had it. And I know every single person that's knocked doors has. Have you had it?
Yeah, you
It's a
you
thing,
can
right?
start dreaming
You start dreaming and
That
you're on
is
the
funny.
doors,
Yeah.
right? And so, definitely, if you think about it in a sales aspect, right, that environment changes how you think, how you are, right? And just like anything in life, right, you put yourself in a situation where you're surrounded by a bunch of successful people, you're more likely to be successful. You're around a bunch of, I like to call them wastemans. That's like my thing.
Right.
Wastemans, people that, they just don't do anything with their life, right? You're gonna be the same thing, right?
You're gonna be a waste man.
You're gonna be a waste man.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's shift it now from rejection to success. Right. What is the definition of success to you? What do you define as successful? I know for me, I would say yes. Looking at you, you're kind of like a successful young man. I've one of the most successful young men I've actually seen. So, what is success to you?
It's a good question. I think success is obviously subjective. Many definitions for it. For me, it's being able to feel fulfilled within 5 categories of your life. And those 5 categories are fulfilled financially, fulfilled emotionally and socially, fulfilled mentally and spiritually,
Right.
fulfilled intellectually, and then fulfilled physically, right? And so what I mean by that is when I say, let's say financially, am I able to do the bare minimum, right? Add more, right? And, am I making money, right? Am I able to have the ability to do whatever I want, wherever I want, whenever I want, right?
Right.
That's financial freedom right there, right? And then also, when I say spiritually, mentally, right? Am I in a point where I feel like I'm mentally present, right? Because I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of success financially, but they deal with depression or anxiety, right? So are they really successful? Probably not, right? And so it's very important that you need to be fulfilled within that area of your life. You think of emotionally, socially, right? Am I surrounded by good people, right? If I make a lot of money and I'm mentally stable, but the people around me, they're bad people, right? Am I going to be fulfilled? Absolutely not, right? Same thing with intellectually. Am I doing something to learn every single day? Um, there's this saying, like, if you're not progressing, you are dying, right? And
Right.
so I think one of the biggest things, and I take this from Alex Hormozy, I watch a lot of his stuff. He says that like the purpose of life is learning, right? And so if you're not learning every single day, you're bored, right? And then the last one's physically, right? Am I healthy? I think one of the most important parts. Ty Lopez says it. It goes health, wealth, love, happiness, right? None of the other stuff matters if I'm not healthy. If I'm in the hospital because I'm not taking care of my body, it doesn't matter how much money I make, it doesn't matter how smart I am, it doesn't matter how hot my girlfriend is, right? It doesn't matter how good my friends are, it doesn't matter how mentally clear I am, right? So that's what success means to me, fulfillment in all those areas of life.
Right. Right. Yeah, that is. I think that is the most complete definition of success I've heard.
Thank you.
Fulfillment in all those parts. That is a huge one. And so, Joram Morales, what does in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
In 5 years from now,
Yeah.
um, and full disclosure, I mean, like, yeah, in all honesty, I'm hoping that I'm not in the door-to-door industry anymore, if I'm being completely honest,
Yeah.
right? Maybe more as an investor in our door-to-door program rather than a VP of sales. Been doing it a long time, right? Um, I would want my other business that's running fully, so we build softwares for restaurants. I love working with restaurants because I love food. So
Right.
it's more of a passive income type job. A lot of I just would like to get a lot of revenue coming in on that business, and then hopefully sell my soju business. If I'm being honest with you, right?
Right. Right. And by the way,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my soju.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a scenario. So right now, let's just say if you lost everything today, what is one thing? What is the first thing you would do tomorrow?
Grab a uniform, start knocking doors. Yeah.
Simple as that.
Not even a question. Right?
Go back to it and then just
just-
start killing it.
It just makes sense, right? Like you could go out there and you could make killer money.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing else better than that, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, sometimes you literally start enjoying it. Like it is fun to knock doors.
Mhm.
Honestly, it is fun. And I find myself like just making it fun. It is because it is fun.
Yeah.
It is fun. I'm
If
pretty sure you
if
can
you
agree
make
with
it
that.
fun.
If you make
make
it
it
fun.
fun, yeah.
If you make it fun, it is fun. Okay. So what is one business advice you would give to someone who would like to start a business?
Knock doors first.
Yeah,
I know.
after.
Yeah, but like as much as it's, it actually is real advice because the idea behind it is, why would you jump into a business, invest all your money when you have no experience, right? And the most experience you need to operate a business is sales and marketing, right? And so if you don't have those skill sets, all the money that you're investing into that business,
Right.
You're losing it, right? If you have the best product in the world but you can't sell it, do you really have a business?
No.
Right? If you have the best services in the world, you can't sell it, do you really have a business, right? Like if you cannot sell, you cannot have a business. So Number one advice for someone starting a business:
Right.
learn how to sell first. Yeah.
So learn how to sell, and then you can then take that experience to whatever business you want to start.
Yes. Let me backtrack a little bit. There's other ways too. Like if you don't know how to sell, hire someone that knows how to sell. I guess that's just my angle because I have a sales background.
Right.
Um, and I think selling is something that everyone could learn how to do. Yeah.
That is a question I wanted to ask you, because I find like new people that come in, they're like, oh, I'm not good at sales. You just have the skill, that's why you can sell. Like, is it really a skill, or it's something everyone or anyone can learn?
Mhm. That's why I don't like to use is it a skill. I don't like to use is it, you know, I like to say it's a language,
Yeah,
right? Can anybody learn a language?
of course.
Everyone can. Will everyone learn a language? No. And I think that's the difference, right? You know, how bad do you really want it? You know, and if someone can't figure out sales, it's not because they don't have the skill set. They just don't want it bad enough.
Right, right. Yeah, I had a debate on that with one of my guys, and I told him the same thing. I told him the difference between you and the person making 3, 4 sales a day is just because you haven't learned it. You haven't put in the time to sit down and learn how to sell, or you just don't want it. So it's really up to like the person to figure out whether he wants to make those 4 sales like any other person can like make a day.
Yeah, pretty much.
So thank you for bringing that up. Hopefully that person sees this, right?
Yeah.
I know you say
Yeah,
this.
he's
Okay.
calling you out. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, let's play some games now. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say something, and you tell me whether it's an L, which stand for like lose,
Lose, yeah.
or W, which stand for win. Right?
Okay, let's do it.
Ready?
Let's go.
Okay. First one, getting fired from a job.
Win.
You think it's a win?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I mean, without context, I've hired so many people because they got fired from a job and then they were successful with me. So without context, I'd say win for that reason.
Right. Right. Okay. Second one, starting something and quitting.
Lose. L.
L. Why though? What if the thing wasn't actually worth it?
Starting something and quitting.
Yeah.
You see, it's so hard without context. Right? I think there's a difference between quitting and failing, right? And I think if I start a business and it fails, I rather much. That's a hard one. You got me there.
Good. Good.
But I
good.
guess it needs context.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Third one, turning down a promotion.
Win.
Win.
Yeah.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Investing money and losing it.
Lose. L.
Lose.
Yeah.
So you would advise people to invest their money?
I'm just not advising people to invest it and lose it.
How do you know they're gonna lose it though?
You only really it depends on what you're investing in, right? It's like you put money into the stock market, you only lose when you take the money out and you don't make money on it, right? So without context, I'll say it's a lose.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right. Okay. Last one. Say no to a big opportunity.
Saying no to a big opportunity
Yeah.
is a L,
Is that L?
Yeah.
Think so?
depending on the context. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Grass is greener on the other side. You know what I mean? Right? If I'm already in a good opportunity, sometimes a big opportunity is just a distraction. But if it's a bigger opportunity than what I'm doing, it might make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's switch the game. Now I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say a word or like a name,
Yeah.
and then you just define it with one word.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Door sales.
Money.
Brent Steven.
CEO.
Rejection.
Success.
Last one, Jora Morales.
Oh, me? My name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Soju.
Right.
I'm not even
right.
Korean. Full disclosure. I'm Filipino. Fiance's Korean. So, yeah.
Right. Jora Morales. I know I don't want to keep you here for long. Last thing I always do is I don't know. Do you have any advice for people out there?
I think the biggest thing is, what's that saying? 99% of people aren't willing to do door to door.
Right.
Okay. And this isn't me telling people to go out there and do door to door, right? But the reason why I bring it up is, it's like that saying is, what's the definition of insanity? What is it?
Insanity.
What's the definition of insanity, Raph?
Something that is not sane.
Something that's not sane. Or it's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. I talk to a lot of young people. I hire a lot of young people. I work with a lot of young people. And every time I talk to a lot of young people, they want something different in their lives, right? But what I see in their life is they're doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result.
Correct.
That's insanity, right? And so if you want extraordinary things, you need to do extraordinary things. Like if you want extraordinary results, you have to do extraordinary work, right? And that's where, you won't get success by doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. You got to do the thing that 99% of people aren't willing to do. And I think that's why door to door is one channel of why so many people in door to door are successful.
Right.
But there's obviously many other opportunities, right? Don't shut an opportunity down just because no one else is doing it. If no one else is doing it, that should be a reason why you should do it, because you'll get success by doing things that other people aren't willing to do. Yeah.
Huge one. Huge one. Thank you so much, Ron Morales. It was
100%.
honestly, it was a pleasure having you here, man. I really appreciate you accepting coming, and hopefully we get to be on more episodes.
Yeah. Would love that, man.